Let's go. All right, it's ready. It's recording right now. So, first of all, welcome, guys. It's a pleasure to get you guys here, and it's such a big thing for us. It's our first AMA, and we are just a new group or something like that. So
It's a
I heard
pleasure
a lot
for
about
us to be here.
Surge. For sure, bro. It's like also you are being something like first. They should do something. Like even in future of this group, etc., people are gonna know like Surge was their first AMA, and Surge is a crazy project, man. It's like it's outperforming so bad. It's so good. So let's hear about like what is this project about? What is your vision and what you guys gonna do next? I'm not talking about next project, but next steps.
Absolutely. So I would say let's start with what Surge actually is. Surge, first of all, is a protocol that that changes the way we trade DeFi tokens, and we do this by rethinking the way that automated market making works. So what we saw before is Uniswap and PancakeSwap taking the absolute lead in Ethereum and BSC, and they work like you take tokens and you take, for example, BNB or Ethereum, you pair them together in liquidity pool tokens, and that way you can create a way that people can trade automatically. So whenever BNB goes into this liquidity pool, tokens go out. So the ratio inside of this liquidity pool changes, and therefore the price of the token changes as well. And we thought it would be much smarter if we take this liquidity pool and store it inside of the token contract itself instead. So this is the fundamental difference of Surge between Surge and other projects around there, because we store the liquidity inside of the token contract itself. So if you go to BSC scan and you visit the address of Surge, this is the contract, you can see there is a balance of BNB and there is Surge tokens in there, and this is the liquidity pool. So how do you buy and sell? There are contract functions that enable you to buy and to sell Surge tokens. And this is completely autonomous from any website of any UI. You can do this on blockchain. There is no way to shut it down or something like that. There is no way to disable trading as well. So this is the way that Surge is traded. Now, the other core feature that Surge has is this liquidity pool you see right here. We cannot extract it. So us as the owners and the developers of the project, we have no access to this liquidity pool. And the only way to get this liquidity pool out is if you have tokens and you sell them. Then you get your fair share of these BNB inside of the contract, and the same goes for ETH as well. So this is a completely reshaped way of DeFi trading. Now, what's more interesting about this is we also enable projects to launch with Surge as their liquidity pair. So you see these token projects, we call them SRG20 tokens, and they can basically do the same, but using our tools, our ecosystem, our protocol, and pair their tokens with Surge, and you can buy and sell their tokens as you see it here on BSC scan and Etherscan as well, by buying them with Surge or selling them for Surge. So this is a completely decentralized exchange. And the most groundbreaking thing about this is you can let's see how Uniswap does it. For example, most people don't even realize that every time they trade on Uniswap or PancakeSwap, they are paying fees for this. On Uniswap, you pay 0.3% in fees for every buy and sell you do on Uniswap. On PancakeSwap, it's 0.25%. It doesn't seem like much, but in the long term, it adds up. If you trade a lot using these DEXs, then you end up paying a lot of money to them. And you can see it there. Volume since then has increased even. Let's see the numbers of today. From Uniswap, you see the volume today alone was 1.44 billion US dollars. And that's, if you calculate this with 0.3%, it gives you a lot of money that is taken away from investors every day. This is $4.3 million just in 24 hours. This is taken away from the traders. And we have a DEX that offers no trading fees. Absolutely nothing you will pay for trading on the Surge protocol goes to our pockets or devs pockets or anything. So trading is finally completely decentralized.
Oh my God, it's like it was bigger than I thought, you know? So I'm just thinking, like, this is all good. The thing you created is awesome, bro. I'm not joking about it, but the thing is like the part of buying and selling stuff. So like, do you thinking about anything to add there, like functionality or simple dApp or something like that? Because sometimes it might make people anxious about buying through BSC scan or Etherscan, you know?
Absolutely. And that's why we also provide a swap for this, which is the Surge swap. And it basically does the same thing as here on BSC scan, but it simplifies it. So what you would do to buy Surge is you go to the swap, you select Surge BSC or ETH, it autofills the contract address, you type in the amount of BNB you want to buy, and then you buy. And that's it.
The projects you told me, like those SRG20 projects that using your platform and using your access to everything, etc., etc., all they can swap through this search swap too, or do they do just BSC scan or Etherscan stuff?
Yeah, they can. They can actually. It is just one more step. You need to approve those SRG20 tokens before you trade them. And so then you type in the amount of surge you want to spend. It will forecast how much surge you can expect, SRG20 you can expect to gain from this swap. And then you press buy, and then you bought the SRG20 token. Now, worth noting is the liquidity pair of these is always with SRG, with Surge. So you can imagine the price action in Surge is completely tied with the success of these SRG20 tokens as well. So more tokens launching on the Surge protocol means that there is more demand for Surge because you buy those tokens with Surge, and therefore you will see more buys, obviously. So, and you can see this also when you go to the holders of Surge. As these tokens have the liquidity pool in Surge, you visit the holders, and then you scroll down until you see a contract And this is one, for example, with 0.67% of the supply. If we go on there, we see it's not actually a person, but it's a token. So this token called SurgeX has their liquidity in Surge and is therefore one of the top holders of Surge tokens. And as more and more projects come into the ecosystem, you will then see the holder list filling up with more and more contract addresses instead of persons. So this whole liquidity, this whole supply of Surge will be held by projects instead of persons, and therefore will be much more stable in terms of volatility, you know?
Yes, it's like it's crazy plan, man. It's like I don't know what to say. It's crazy. How many tokens launched so far with Surge?
Should be around 50, I think more than 50 projects already trading live. You saw the top holder here is
Hmm.
Surge X at the moment. There are more projects that are providing utilities for the ecosystem because, as you can imagine, we are not using a PancakeSwap liquidity. So Surge is not yet compatible with most of the utilities that you see around DeFi, like token scanners, charting systems, you name it. So this compatibility is not there yet. So this is the perfect chance for these projects to come out and build their utility for this ecosystem, be the first ones, early adopters, and therefore have an advantage to when more and more people start developing on this protocol, it gains traction. And as you can see, this project is already holding 0.67%. As the price of Surge increases, also their price will increase from this token. So similar as our price, our market cap goes up and down with the BNB price because our liquidity is with BNB. When Surge increases in market cap, all of the tokens that are trading on Surge are increasing in market cap as well.
All right, then for these projects that launch with Surge, also I'm talking about the main Surge project, this one, and how you can check like chart or how you can check the market cap or how you can look for stuff like that while you don't
So
have liquidity on PancakeSwap or Uniswap, you know?
So first of all, we have our own charting system. This is chart.searchprotocol.io. You can see the chart of Ethereum here. For example, you can switch between 1 hour, 4 hours. It's a very basic chart. Like not much you can get from there besides the price movement itself and the candles. And but since yesterday, we were integrated by another project called Block Portal, who integrated Surge into their charting system, which uses TradingView, and it looks very similar to what DeFi traders are used to. So you can do all the fancy stuff like change it to Heiken Ashi, to candles, to anything you know, right? So more and more charting systems, as we grow, as we gain traction, as we increase the volume, will see a true benefit in integrating Surge protocol into their systems. So you will see us on CMC as well. You will see us on Dex tools. You will see us on Dex Screener. Like over time, this adoption will come as we just grow our project.
Yes, it's quite a good vision, but also, why don't you just make a DEX or like something like DEX tools, like making a DEX for search swap projects that link with search, launch with search, etc. So you can just lead that market too. I know they're just gonna adopt it. It's like unavoidable, but also you can lead that market for your projects.
Absolutely. We will also improve our tools that we have, like the chart and the swap. Continuously, the swap will see its major overhaul first. But while we are developing more tools for the project to be used, like for example, a automated token creator bot, where you can just deploy a search an SRG20 token by talking with a Telegram bot. We think it's much more valuable to get integrated in other charting systems that are already functioning and are already live and have their user base, just to get more attention, right? And it also, of course, to be honest, like we don't see much value in really competing against DEX tools or DEX screener. Like they are already providing great charting systems, and we see our focus mainly on the protocol itself, like what we can do to support project owners that are coming onto the protocol and want to build out their utilities, making the swap better so people can trade freely and quickly and simpler. So that's our main focus.
Amazing, bro. All right. Is there anyone got questions, by the way? I can just open your microphone and such. Right now, I'm
I
just
think
thinking, but you told everything. Like, there's
I
nothing
think
to ask or something.
I left out the part that usually shocks the most people when we speak about it. That is how to launch a project on SRG20. And there is a feature or a characteristic of these SRG20 tokens that is completely unique in DeFi and is really mind-blowing, which is you do not need any starting liquidity to launch a project on Search. So you do not need any pre-sale, you do not need to contribute your own funds to enable trading. So the way PancakeSwap and Uniswap work is you either have BNB or ETH, or you host a pre-sale and raise these BNB or ETH, and then you pair those with the tokens that you minted from deploying the contract to a liquidity pool. And we thought the other way around. So we thought that's actually stupid. Why should this be the norm? Like, why should we contribute to the system we have created in DeFi that is constantly driving the volume down from DeFi? Because just to tell you why we thought about this. You see, projects are raising huge amounts in pre-sales recently. You see these raises with 500 BNB, 600 BNB, 700 BNB, huge pre-sales, and 51% or so from these raises go into the initial liquidity. What's it for? Just to enable trading. If you think about it, you create the liquidity pool just in order to have people being able to buy your token. And we said, we will do this differently. We will have it so if you deploy the contract, all the tokens are stored inside of the token contract itself. There is 100% of the supply in the token contract and no BNB, but you set the starting price manually. And the first person who buys the tokens is the first holder, and he buys with the price that you set. For example, you can put in an imaginary liquidity of 10 BNB, and he buys to the price of what is 10 beans now? $3,000 market cap. $3,000 market cap is the starting price. You set it manually, so the first buyer is paying this for his tokens. And after the first buyer, the liquidity and the price impact and the price curve behave exactly as they do in Uniswap and PancakeSwap. And because you do not have any holders before trading is enabled, there is nobody who would need to sell, so there is no need for a starting liquidity. And on the other side, there will never be the situation in which somebody is holding tokens, but the liquidity pool has run dry because nobody can sell anymore. There is no BNB in the contract left. This situation is impossible.
All right. I got actually two questions. It's like first one is about this one. Like in future, let's say Surge is growing more, it's probably will, and you need some bigger features, like you need some pre-sale functionality or stuff like that you told, you know. I know those people are raising 500 BNBs, 600 BNBs, etc. But on Surge network or Surge protocol, can they raise something, you know, not start with like 100% token goes to liquidity first, etc. Like starting with some old investors, you know? You know what I
I
mean?
think, yeah, I think the question is if a pre-sale is possible on Surge
Uh-huh.
nonetheless, right? And the answer
Yeah.
is yes. Because when we launched the project, we had to migrate the token once because the audit report came back and we wanted to make sure that the contract we move on with is perfect. So we decided to change the contract regarding to what the audit suggested us to do. And we therefore had to migrate the holders as well. So how did they do it, or we do it? They sent in the tokens so we could sell them, because remember, this is the only way to get the liquidity out.
Yeah.
So we sold the complete supply. In the new contract, we set the starting price to be exactly as it was in the first Surge. And then we bought back the supply that is needed to airdrop the holders. And that's actually basically the same as what happens in pre-sales.
Sure.
You just buy the amount of tokens that you need to supply your pre-salers and then airdrop them.
Yeah,
And
and
what
there's also like different ways you could structure it too, because that's there's a lot of you could also do a whitelisting style of a raise as well, because everybody kind of knows that the initial funding is going towards marketing or the development side of things. It's going towards something like structurally. So I think that there's going to be a few different options and things for people to try out, just based on whatever their needs are.
Yeah, it's just a matter of defining what you need precisely for your specific project, and then you have multiple options to choose from. What is the perfect way to launch this? What is the perfect starting price of the project, of the token? What is the form of pre-sale, the form of contract as well? We have SRG20 tokens that offer rewards in SRG. We have projects that have an automatic burn function. And you have so many options. Like blockchain itself is full of possibilities.
Yes, that's true. Also, my other question is like, if I wanna deploy or launch a project in Search, like how I'm gonna deploy that contract? Like, should I contact you about it, or can I do it via, I don't know, typical stuff like Ethereum org, etc.
So
Remix.
what currently is the way that as of today is we provide the template for the contract in our official GitHub, and developers have complete access to it without any fees for that. They can change their parameters like the name, the token ticker, the amount of taxes, the starting price, and then deploy it on Remix. And remember, as soon as you deploy it and enable trading, it's live. So the only thing you will need is gas fees. Now, what we are currently working on, and we actually showcased it in our internal AMA yesterday, is a token deployer bot. I touched on that a bit earlier, which will be a Telegram bot like Rose. You speak with the bot, you tell it what your token should look like, and it deploys it.
Yeah, that would be great because like not everybody is crazy developers or crazy technical guys in crypto, you know? It's actually like most of them just people that don't know coding, etc. And they just copy paste contracts, they just launch same things, they use same things, they learn one thing and use it for eternity, etc. So maybe getting something like that with like easy steps, you know, just simple bot that you are telling like I want this text, I want this type, I want this maximum buy, I want this type liquidity, etc. That would be great. Like when you think this bot will be live?
Very soon, actually. We are testing it in this moment, and it's looking good. Will be very easy to handle, very easy to navigate. Like you are not able to mess it up. Like there's really nothing you could do wrong. There is also, of course, a cap on the amount of taxes you can put. So there is no way to make the project make a honeypot. So we have security measures that the token that is deployed on the spot is safe, and investors know, okay, this developer has A, no access to the liquidity pool, and B, he cannot disable trading. And if you have these two, you just need a dev that is willing to drive his project forward, and there you have it. That's a safe project.
All right, this bot is free by the way, right? Where people just paying the gas fees, etc. But do they pay extra cost?
There will be a small fee because we need to avoid the spam of deploying. So one person could deploy 10 projects in a minute by just clicking buttons, and it would just shut the whole thing down, basically. Like the bot mainly, the server, and so we need to make sure that when a dev wants to deploy his project, he wants to do it. Like it will be a very small fee, and yeah, no starting liquidity needed. So it's actually a lot cheaper than doing it on PancakeSwap or Uniswap token deployers.
All right. So for short-term vision, you are thinking about this bot and having a little fee there, and also thinking about growing this ecosystem and getting more projects involved. But for longer term, like, do you have bigger picture? Like, you have another big utility or another big stuff you wanna add to this ecosystem, you know?
Yeah, so let me switch over to our roadmap. Basically, it's still needs a slight overhaul because there are things that we might not do anymore, like the NFT collection. It was an initial idea, but we are not so sure anymore if we will do it or not. But we will see. But of course, the main focus is on making the trading as enjoyable as possible, as simple as possible for every investor. Getting listed on mainly on CMC and CoinGecko to and the focus here is getting listed as a decentralized exchange. So you will see us in the rankings with the likes of PancakeSwap, Uniswap, BuySwap, ApeSwap, you name it, all of these projects. And we see a clear chance to compete with them in terms of volume, just because of having no trading fees at all. That already puts us in a huge advantage. This will obviously get more eyes on the project as well as we climb in this ranking. Another big thing is expansion to more blockchains, because that's a feature I didn't cover yet. Search swap, for example, this UI is usable for both BSC and for ETH. So it's translatable to every EVM blockchain there is. You just need to connect your wallet on the right blockchain, and that's it. And we can add any EVM blockchain we want to later on. We just need to deploy SRG on that chain and enable trading, and the projects can then accumulate and deploy their contracts on that blockchain as well immediately, completely decentralized, without prior vetting, without the need to be listed or anything. Just launch and go. So the expansion to more blockchains, just to increase the widespread adoption of this protocol is also on the roadmap. And also, yeah, the launchpad. We touched on the possibility to do pre-sales a bit earlier. So having a launchpad, an official launchpad, would be also very good for the ecosystem.
Yes, that was a question of mine. Like, how you gonna manage that pre-sale or private sale stuffs, you know? Like, if they use your launchpad and launch on search, then probably they can't do.
Yeah.
Sorry, microphone gone. So I think private sale is bullshit. So it's good to have no private sale stuff, and it's gonna be like pure smooth stuff when you just do it or launch with your launchpad, you know, because they can't find a backdoor or something to send more tokens to people they select or airdrop additional fees or additional wallets to people they like, etc. So it's kind of like more safer than any other projects in BNB or Ethereum that does pre-sale, you know? So
Absolutely.
those
And
projects might
also,
do crazy well.
yeah, also while keeping in mind that the liquidity pool that is raised in this pre-sale is safe and belongs 100% to the investors. Um, because what you are seeing right now in these big pre-sales, not all of them, absolutely not. There are great projects coming after large pre-sales. I don't want to name any names, but everyone thinks of at least one project that had a good pre-sale and then did very well. But the vast majority, if we are honest to ourselves, are slow rugs. What is the clear intention of these devs? You oftentimes see it when it's too late. They raised a huge amount, had a spectacular pre-sale marketing phase. They promised the world, they promised the best utilities that nobody has ever seen. You get excited, you contribute to this pre-sale because you think, I want to be as early as possible in this, and there is no way to be earlier than before the launch. So they raise, let's say, 500 BNB. Half of it goes into the liquidity pool. Maybe they even have a tax that is destined to go into this liquidity pool as well to make it less volatile, they say. And soon after the launch, you feel like it's slowing down. Like you feel these devs are not giving their all anymore. And all of a sudden you see, okay, this they will probably never release what they promised. And the goal is just to wait out these 6 months of liquidity lock or 1 year or whatever. And as soon as it unlocks, it goes into the devs' pockets. And that is not possible in Surge because the liquidity pool belongs to the investors, which is something we all agree on, but factually on Uniswap and PancakeSwap, it's not the case. The owner over the liquidity pool on Uniswap and PancakeSwap is actually the dev. And that's
True.
something we are fixing. And that's why we think that if you do a pre-sale on Surge, be it a private sale or when the launchpad is out, then on the launchpad, it will be an automatic filter for the devs that honestly mean it when they promise you a utility. Because there's no financial benefit anymore for slow rugging a project.
To be honest, like this last thing you said, probably that's the best thing about search or the crowd you guys right now, all they care about, or all people are looking for. That everybody's looking for safest place, safest projects, etc. That they're not gonna get right, slow, fast, it doesn't matter. At the end, it's just everything becomes a rug pull, everything becomes a liquidity farming, etc. And I think Surge is a great way to just put a stop there, you know? But
Exactly.
also, I got like one simple question. It's not too big question, but like whenever you do some pre-sale, you know that some percent of it goes to liquidity, some percent goes to marketing, etc., or whatever they promise, you know? So is it going to be like 100% goes to liquidity, or they can just take some marketing fee out when they raise some pre-sale through your launchpad?
Well, it doesn't have to be 100% into the liquidity. There can be various options for this, because you mainly do a pre-sale in order to raise funds, as you don't need any starting liquidity for launching a project on Surge. The reason why you would do a pre-sale on a Surge launchpad, for example, would be to kickstart your initial marketing, for example, or building a staking pool, for example, can also be the case. So I think 100% into the liquidity. I don't know if many people will do it, but you will definitely need a large amount of the pre-sale raise go into the liquidity, because otherwise holders or pre-sale contributions would fall short.
True. Also, I got another question. Like, probably you replied it 3 or 4 questions before, but you told me like I can launch a project on search and you can see the contract there and you are starting with initial liquidity, but it's a bit different. Like you have to buy first, then after that transaction starting, and also you can set the initial price, etc. But like, how can you manage that volatility of this project? Like, let's say I launch the token, all right, and I put in, I don't know, 10 BNB liquidity, and it's worth of like 3K right now. All right. After that, like, how the chart is gonna change? Like, how fast it's gonna be, how slow it's gonna be, or you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely, I know what you mean. It's the answer to this is actually very simple. It's actually the same as if you would have put in 10 beans on Uniswap, on PancakeSwap in this case. Like
but
the price curve is exactly the same. Now, if you don't have any liquidity tax, I see developers of projects that are already live on PancakeSwap already screaming like, but how do I manage to make it less volatile? How do I stabilize the price curve? Now, there is a function in this contract that is named add liquidity here. So if you want to add liquidity, you can also set a tax to burn tokens or to add additional liquidity into this pool. The effect, by the way, is the exact same thing in this case. Or you could say, I will fund the liquidity manually, and you would contribute these BNB or ETH into the liquidity pool and make the price curve more stable.
all right. Thank you for reply.
No problem, no problem. Albino, anything you think I missed to explain?
No, dude, you're crushing it, man. I'm not even gonna jump in. You're crushing it. Go ahead.
Thank you, bro.
For me, like, I don't know what to ask. I have a lot of questions right now, so let's ask a bit to our community. So, you guys got any questions, or you guys want to mention about something about search? So, feel free to talk right now. You can just simply open your microphone and ask your question.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah. So because I missed some part of the EMA, but I'm in Soch since the first day. So, but I haven't listened to most of the EMAs. So my question is basically regarding, let's say you already have a project that is running. One thing is starting an SRG20 project, but imagine I already have a project on ETH or BSC, and a liquidity pool is kind of worth, let's say, 1 million in BNB or something like that, right? And now we want to port to SRG20. So the reason why I'm making this an example is because I know that what SRG has in the liquidity pool at the moment is not that much. You know, it's like a big project that has more in their liquidity than SRG has in its own liquidity at the moment. How easy is it for such type of projects to kind of use your
Migrate.
protocol?
To migrate, yeah, I
Yeah.
get your question. It's actually a great question because we had this issue actually. We were inquired by a project that had a liquidity pool that at that point was bigger than our own liquidity pool. The simple question is, it is not easy to do that. So you cannot, if they take their liquidity, and let's take your example, if they have a liquidity pool of $1 million, the way that they would migrate is they extract the liquidity pool from PancakeSwap and use these funds to buy surge tokens. And as you can imagine, this this would cause issues. Because if our liquidity, let me see what our liquidity is right now. It's 100,000. It's a bit, yeah. Like the scale would not allow it in this very moment. So, but as the project grows, as the liquidity pool also grows, the market cap grows, we will. I'm very certain we will see many projects migrating over from PancakeSwap, which are not happy with how the system works at the moment with PancakeSwap. Want to have a fresh launch, want to have a fresh start for their project in a fresh environment. I definitely see bigger projects migrating over to us as well.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great question, by the way.
All right. Any other questions, guys? Also, by the way, about the last question we got, like the one Abdul Basit asked, and probably like migrating that liquidity with the way of buying it and then airdropping it is gonna cause like big jump on chart, you know, if they do it at once. Like even if you just buy with the same liquidity you got, probably you will just make the chart 4x or 5x, you know? So probably for it you need more time or something.
Yeah, and actually, not in this extreme way, by the way, but we already had projects migrating over from PancakeSwap to Surge, and I don't want to spoil this, but another one planning to do it on ETH, and they did just that. So they extracted the liquidity pool from PancakeSwap, and they purchased $1,500 worth of Surge tokens in order to prepare to buy their own SRG20 token and then airdrop the holders. Now, we were much earlier in the project. The market cap was much lower, so this 1.5K buy made a bigger jump in our chart. Was around here. If I show it, like in this section, I think what it was, and since then, as you see, the chart went parabolic at some point until here, 2.6-ish million, and so did their holdings increase in price as well. So anyone who received the airdrop for this project called Penny Moon was already up by a lot, just because of the price fluctuation of Surge. But now, yeah, my moderator was pinging me because I missed to tell another way on how to pull it off. We have a project on the Surge protocol called Ichimoku, and they are actually the first play to earn game on the protocol. Worth checking them out as well. What they did is they have two live tokens, one on BSC and one on ETH, and they have a bridge between those. But they love our project. They love the idea behind it. Like, they are DeFi purists. So they said, we have to get involved in this. So what they did was they launched a third token, which is part of the ecosystem, which will have its utility inside of the play to earn game. And they launched it on Surge without any starting liquidity. So they will now have 3 tokens inside of their ecosystem, one of which is part of our ecosystem.
Yeah, that's also clever. It's like bridging tokens, but it's not like also bridging tokens. So you are just having your token on different chains with different charts, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that's also clever. By the way, you planning to launch different tokens on every other chain for expansion, right? Or are you just gonna add some bridge function or something like that and mix them into two charts rather than having 4 or 5 tokens?
We are actually not planning to build a bridge
Mm-hmm.
because at this moment, with the tech that we have on hand right now, a bridge is vulnerable to attacks, hacks, exploits, and it also needs a big amount of supply on the side, which we would then have to control. Now, as I said before, a project on Surge, and this includes Surge itself, starts with 100% of the supply in the contract. So there are no team tokens, no dev tokens, no anything. So in order to create this bridge between both chains, we would need to have this much supply that it would fail the cause of the project a bit. So, and that's why we said we can, like, just for the sake of having one chart for both, it's not worth the risk.
Yes.
And yeah, when we launch on other chains, which is definitely in plans for the future, not immediate future, but it's something that we plan to do. There will be a third chart and a fourth chart. So these prices will remain independent from each other. Also, the price will also depend on the demand which investors have, and the demand is caused by the projects launching on such chains. And as we all know, the tokens on each chain are very different from each other. Like you see on Ethereum, there are a lot of degens, but also a lot of low tax tokens, or these huge tokens that have fundamental utilities that are used by almost everyone in the space. BSC has these low gas fees, so there are more frequent deploys, more frequent launches on BSC. AVAX is known for these passive income plays. And so each chain has its trades, its different publics, like different people that are investing in those chains. So this will definitely play a role in how the prices will evolve.
True.
So I have a final question. You probably have mentioned this before. So do you have, I don't know, maybe a forum or a way? Imagine I want to know all the projects that launched already on Surge. So how do I find such information?
So we have a beta version of the dashboard, which I don't have open at the moment. It's a very early version of such a dashboard, which has a longer loading time as well. And there is a leaderboard of the projects that have the most TVL, total value locked, of Surge inside of their contracts. So you can see which are the projects that are doing best at the moment. What's also important to us is that there are communities building outside of the main Telegram chat and outside of our ownership. The community has built these group chats and these call channels on Telegram already that are discussing SRG20 projects, that are shilling for them as well, announcing stuff that happens in these SRG20 tokens, and it's completely organically handled by the community themselves. So some guys that are invested in Surge and they are interested in these new launches, they said, okay, let's do a group chat, let's speak about it there, and that's where I recommend to look up for these projects.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So, is there any other questions we got right now from community? I just read some comments in the group, and I see Charles is looking fine too. So, you wanna add something like you wanna conclude this AMA, or you wanna wait for some questions too? Because I think you explained really, really good. Like, I don't have any questions. I'm just being serious.
Yeah, sure. We can take a few more questions as well, of course.
For sure.
I don't know if Albino can still be here. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
He's
here.
here.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak a little bit to, I guess, kind of our focus. It's kind of a unique project on the marketing side and the awareness side, because it's not your typical, like, convert somebody into a holder, go through pancake swap like we're all used to. There's a bit of a learning curve, right? So we've really been focused on kind of the education element and trying to put as much content as we can out there, whether it be on YouTube or Medium or Twitter threads. Like, that was a big focus of us, and getting our community to create content with us. Still, doing those kind of contests to this day. We have one active right now as well. But yeah, that's been a big part of it for us, is that education piece. And we still have a lot of people that come into the Telegram. I'd say, like, every hour or 2 hours, we have somebody that comes into the Telegram. They're like, how do I buy this? Right. And so that's like a really common thing in our community, is like stepped up in a massive way. And just kind of like throwing out the guides, hit the commands, hit the functions, and walk people through it. But there is that like learning curve. So education's been a big piece for us, and I think that we're gonna slowly kind of transition as our UI gets updated, as our like functions on the swap get updated, more availability on the chart. Listed on CMC, and having those, being able to have that charting data on all these different platforms. That's going to be huge for us, and I think that it's just going to all kind of help convert inevitable holders, that kind of exposure. But for right now, it's definitely like a big focus on the education piece from the awareness side. And yeah, we're continuing on that front, and we're working with people to get like long-term partnerships versus just kind of the quick shout out or the quick video or something like that. We really realize that we're going to be around for a while, and we need people that believe in the project like we do to sell it as passionately as we do, on their platform and to their communities. So yeah, long-term partnerships have been big, and education. I'd say those are the two main focuses on the marketing front and the awareness front.
Holy fuck, bro! You are talking so fast. Like, it was so hard to catch it, man. What the fuck?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I was sitting here walking around trying to dodge some noisemakers that were right next to me. So yeah, sorry if I was talking fast, guys.
All right, I just want to ask a question. By the way, I listened that. Also, like, what type of partnerships you guys got right now? Like, you mentioned about partnerships, and also another question, like, I heard it like twice or third time during this AMA. Like, you guys waiting for CoinMarketCap listing or CoinGecko listing soon? Like maybe in a few days, etc.
Well, I mean, it's up to them. I mean, that's when it comes to like the listing and stuff, we can't guarantee. That's totally on them. But in terms of partnerships, there's a lot of different like good ones that I've had my eye on, and I would love to see it eventually come through. But for right now, I mean, not so much on the partnership side, although there is a few candidates. Right now, we just need people supporting it, right? Like right now, we've seen the biggest impact to Surge in general from other projects coming in and developing, right? Like another project comes in, they have a really good run, it brings awareness on the protocol, people see the benefits of it, it's just more and more adoption, right? We get another developer that says, hey, I want to launch in this environment, zero liquidity, sounds awesome. investors start to demand it because, we're taking away the incentive for bad actor devs, right? So, investors can start to demand that once they see success, and they're like, hey, I'm making profits here, and it's a safe environment. The word starts to spread, right? And then people start to be like, those tokens on other, those pancake swaps and liquidity and Uniswap liquidity, like those don't look as appealing, right? I've been making consistent gains over here because of X, Y, and Z, or at least I didn't get scammed here. It's just there's a lot of benefits for everybody. So I think the enabling our developers has been something that we're really focusing on as well.
Amazing. Also, like for marketing, you guys focusing on mostly Telegram, or what type of marketing road you guys take? I see like most of Telegram groups I know, like all those call channels, all those AMA lounges, etc. They just following it up. Yeah, they talking about search, they adding search to their names, etc., etc. But out of Telegram, do you guys have any marketing plans or any improvements or type like that? Like press releases or some type of listing on crypto applications, etc. The things I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, it's definitely going to have, if it has value in it, or it has like a good audience behind it. Yeah, we're definitely open and keen to doing it. I think that's probably the best way to say it. Like, we're obviously willing to do anything. We're willing to explore like all those options, but because we are kind of a unique project, like we definitely want to bring awareness on all fronts. We've seen that YouTube has been awesome for us because it kind of walks people through it, like it kind of guides people, and like I think a lot of people are visual, right? So it's been great to have those resources in that kind of traction so far. But certainly,
All
the approach has been outside of Telegram, and it'll continue to be outside of Telegram as well. But it's always awesome to have the exposure here.
Totally right. You are talking about also like increasing these marketing options from like one platform to more platforms is always doing good, it's nothing bad about it. And also, don't get me wrong right now, all right? And I got a friend called Vincent, and he got a app called Linux, if you heard about it before. And he does like listing on his crypto app, and this app is live on Google Play and App Store, etc. And also, I'm not shilling it, by the way. It's just a marketing idea I'm trying to give to you. This guy doing some listings on his application, and it's like monthly or monthly 2,000 viewers or people using that application. There's like it's about DeFi asset, etc., etc., type of like that, So this guy is giving me huge discount or the projects that make an AMA with us. So I think I can send you his contact and you can talk with him. And the best part of it is like he got 100% non-scam rate. So no projects ever rocked, no projects ever scammed at listed on Linux so far. So I think you guys can get a good price with giving my name. And also this project belongs there. You can get free eyes, you can get more eyes, etc. And I experienced it myself with a project that I owned before. And yes, they got great volume. So I think you should definitely check it. So I can give you information about it via DM, also via group, etc. What do you prefer? And also, yeah, like I said, don't get me wrong. It's just a friendly advice. I don't learn anything from this shit.
Absolutely, yeah. We look into everything. Very good.
For
Thank you.
sure. You can just do your research and such. You don't have to just blind do that stuff.
Yeah, always. Very good. Yeah, I'm just checking if there were any questions in chat that I may have missed. No. I will not answer the one from Marvin, by the way. Yeah, I think thanks a lot for opening up your group for the first time for us. Like it's a great pleasure. It is the first AMA in this launch, right?
Yes, mate. It's the first one.
All right, I will stay in the launch after that.
Thank you. That means a lot. It's like I'm just planning to get only projects like Surge, you know? Like not it don't have to be same concept, but it should be something big in this space. So not like some shitcoin just looking for, I don't know, quick access or like any other play to earn game project is like already thousands of them around, you know? So yeah, I need some unique stuff. So I think that type of people gonna fill in and it's gonna be some big badass launch soon.
Awesome.
So yeah, we are working on it. And also thank you guys for accepting this AMA. I was like, I was sure that you guys not gonna do this because we were at like only 50 members or something. So you guys might think it like waste of time, etc. But very much appreciated about coming here and explaining search to our community. So thank you guys too for joining or jumping into this AMA.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, it was awesome to be here. Appreciate you having us.
Thank you. You are still talking so fast.
No, I just said I appreciate you you having us here. It was
Of
great to be
course.
here. It's great to be the first the first project as well.
Thank you, bro. All right, then let's finish this AMA. If you guys don't have any questions, let's wait a bit for questions if it pops, and otherwise, let's finish this AMA. I already recorded, by the way, the ones that asking it in the chat. So, do we have any last questions?
I think if they have any more questions, they can jump into our Telegram group or ping us in your lounge, and we can still answer them in text form.
For sure. Let me post it again. All right. Let's finish it then. What you think, guys?
Yeah, let's do it. You can send me the
All
recording
right.
afterwards if you like.
Of course. I will just post it in a new channel of this group. Like, we will just post recordings, etc. So you can just forward from there. Also, I can send it to you through DM.
Awesome, yeah.
All right. Then good evening, guys. Also for US people, good morning, etc. So, see you guys soon.
See you.